What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your RPM47. Along with the mixer, you get a power cable to power your mixer. So the first thing we can do to set up the mixer is connect our speakers. Now each output on the mixer is 4 ohm stable, which gives us a few different options for what kind of speakers we can connect. For example, here I have a couple of SPGN 108s, which are 8 ohm speakers that I can plug into the left and right output. I can also expand my setup further with 2 more 8 ohm speakers per channel for a final load of 4 ohms. You can also use 1 4 ohm speaker per left and right channel, but you never want to use 2 4 ohm speakers per left and right channel because that could risk damaging your mixer and or speakers. And we have a chart for you here that will give you the different options that you can use. Now because the speakers I'm using today have speak-on inputs and outputs, while the mixer has 1/4 inch outputs, I can use these speak-on to 1/4 inch cables to connect my speakers. So that's just another thing you want to keep in mind when connecting your speakers to your mixer. So to set up my speakers to the mixer, I'm going to take the speak-on ends of my cables and plug them into the speak-on inputs on my speakers. Then I'm going to plug the other ends into the 1/4 inch speaker outputs. So now that I got the speakers all set up, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my mixer. Now when we take a look at the mixer, you'll see that we have 5 channels that we can use where we can plug in a microphone through the XLR mic input or an instrument through the 1/4 inch line input. So to show you how that works, I have my dynamic mic right here and my XLR cable. I'm going to plug the female end into my mic, then I can plug the other end into the XLR input of any channel I want to use here, but for today, let's use channel 1. So from here I can raise the level knob on channel 1, and to hear it coming out of the speakers, I'm going to raise the master knob here. And now when I talk into the microphone, check 1 2, you'll be able to hear my voice coming through the speakers. Now we can also set up a condenser microphone to any of these channels using the same exact steps, except you'll want to activate the phantom power button here to power your condenser microphone. If you feel like the signal is coming in too hot on any microphone or instrument you want to use, you can also use the pad button on any of these channels to bring the level down by 20 dB, and then from there you can use the level knob to compensate for the volume. So like I mentioned, we can also use the line input to set up an instrument like a guitar, for example. So to do that, I can take a 1/4 inch instrument cable here and plug one end into my guitar. Then I'm going to plug the other end into the line input on any available channel. So for today, I'm going to plug it into channel 2. Then I can raise the level knob for channel 2. And again, I want to make sure that the master volume is up so I hear it coming out of the speakers. And now if I play the guitar, you'll hear it coming out of the speakers. So this is a cool setup for live performances or band rehearsals, since I can plug in an instrument and a microphone at the same time. And if you wanted to set up a different instrument like a bass or a keyboard, you can follow these same exact steps. For stereo instruments like a keyboard or synth, you can use 2 channels here on the mixer for the left and right output of your instrument. On each channel, we also have a 2-band EQ, so we can adjust the high and low frequencies on each channel. I'll use my mic here to demonstrate. So first we'll take a look at the high knob where we can adjust the high-end frequencies. So if I were to raise that all the way up, check 1 2, check 1 2, you hear a lot more presence in my voice, and it's almost like a tinny sound that you can hear. I can lower that all the way down too, and then you'll hear the difference there. Check 1 2, you don't hear any of that high end at all, hearing mostly low end really. And then I can raise it back to the middle, check 1 2, check 1 2, and that will give us a more balanced sound. Next, we got the low knob to adjust the low end frequencies. So if I were to raise that all the way up, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're hearing a lot more bass or body in my voice there. And then if I lower it all the way down, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're not hearing any of that low end or bass, mostly high and mid frequencies. And then I can raise it back to the middle, check 1 2, which gives us the balance. Each channel also has an effects knob that we can use with either the DSP effects or the external FX loop on the back of the mixer. First, let's take a look at the DSP section here, where we can choose from 24 different effects to use with any of our channels. For this section, we have the program knob where we can choose any of these effects by scrolling through. And once you find the effect you want to use, you're going to push this button down to select the effect. Next to that, we have the parameter knob, which acts as our dry-wet ratio, so we can choose how much of the effect we want present. And then we have the DSP to main knob, which will bring the effects through the main mix out of our speakers. So I'll demonstrate again here with my microphone to show you how the effects works. So let's say I have my microphone here and I want to use the effects with the mic. I'm going to go to the DSP section and make sure that the parameter knob and the DSP to main knob are turned up. And you can mix these to your liking. So if you want to go halfway, if you want to go a little below or above, that's really up to you and the sound that you want. And then I'm going to raise the effects knob on the channel that my mic is on. So I'm going to raise that right now. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. And now you'll hear the effect on my voice. So now let's go through all of the different effects we can use, starting with effect number 1, which is Hall 1. And as you can hear, it's a pretty spacious reverb. Hello, hello. Next we have Hall 2, hello, hello. Also pretty spacious. Next we have Room 1 for effect number 3, hello, hello. Next we have number 4, which is Room 2, hello, hello, very cool. Next we have a plate reverb on number 5, hello, hello. Then we have number 6, which is Large Stage, hello, hello, hello. Then we have Small Stage for number 7, hello, hello. Then we have Reverb 1 for number 8, hello, hello. We have Reverb 2 for number 9, hello, hello. That's a spacey one. Then we have Reverb 3 on number 10, hello, hello. Cool. Next we have number 11, which is the single delay. Hello, 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 hello. Now you hear my voice being delayed between each speaker, which is really cool. And then we have a long delay on number 12. Hello, 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 hello. Next we have effect 13, which is a vocal echo. Hello, 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 hello. Then we have a karaoke echo on number 14. Hello, hello. Nice. Next we have number 15, which is our phaser effect. Hello, hello. Very cool. Next to that we have a flanger. Hello, hello. Very trippy. Next we have chorus 1 on effect 17. Hello, hello, hello. Then we have chorus number 2. Hello, hello. Very trippy. Very cool. Next we have an ambient reverb on number 19. Hello. Very ambient. Hello. Next we have a tremolo on number 20, and this might be more noticeable when you hold out a note. Hello. Hello. Next we have a wah-wah effect, and this is more noticeable again if you hold out a note. Wah, wah. It almost makes it sound like you're a record that's skipping. Next we have a radio effect. Hello, hello, hello. This one's cool. Next we have a radio voice effect. Hello, hello. And lastly, we have a pitch shift effect where we can use the parameter knob to change the pitch of our voice. So for example, if I raised it all the way up, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, it brings my voice to a higher pitch. Hello, hello. Then I can bring it all the way down to pitch my voice lower. Hello, hello, hello. And then I can set it anywhere in between, and it will also affect the pitch of my voice. Now on the back of the mixer, we also have an external effects loop in case we didn't want to use any of the effects built into the mixer. So to set up an external effect to the mixer, you're going to take a 1/4" cable and plug one end into the send of the effects loop, then plug that other end into the input of your effect. Then to send the effect back to the mixer, you're going to take another 1/4" cable and plug one end into the output of the effect, then plug the other end into the return on your mixer. Next, we're going to raise the effects loop return on the mixer, and then we can use the effects knob on whichever channel we want affected by the outside effects. Next, we have the 7-band EQ, where we can change the overall sound that's coming out of our mixer through our speakers. So if you felt like there was too much high end coming from the mixer out of the speakers, you can adjust those high end frequencies with the 7-band EQ. Next, we have the controller for our USB or Bluetooth devices. So we can use this to control music playback, like the pause or play button to pause or play our music. We got a stop button to stop the music overall. We got a skip forward or go back button to switch between tracks. And then we have the mode button to switch between music sources. You'll also see the USB input where we can plug in a USB thumb drive to play music from there. And then the MP3 volume knob to control the volume of the music coming from these sources. So now let me show you how to set up a Bluetooth device like a smartphone or tablet to your mixer. To do that, you're gonna go to the mode button and make sure that you're set to Bluetooth mode. From there, you can go into the Bluetooth settings of your phone or tablet and search for the device that reads Rockville. Click on it to pair, and then you'll see from the settings that you're connected to the mixer. Again, you'll want to make sure to raise the MP3 volume knob so you hear the music from your device, and to raise the master volume knob so you hear everything coming out of the speakers. You'll also want to use the volume notches on your phone or tablet to set up the volume from your phone. So let's go ahead and hear how it sounds. Yeah, nice. Sounds really good. Another way we can play music is by using the RCA input on the back of the mixer, where we can plug in external music players like record players, different MP3 devices, etc. If you're plugging a device into the RCA input, you'll want to raise the aux input level knob on the front of the mixer. Next to that RCA input, we also have an RCA record output, where we can take everything coming through the mixer and send it out to an interface to be recorded. And we can also use this to expand our setup further by plugging it into different mixers, powered speakers, subwoofers, etc. The mixer also has a PC interface input, so we can set it up to a laptop or computer and record everything coming from the mixer into our computer. So to set up the mixer to our computer, I can take a USB-B to USB-A cable. I'm gonna plug the USB-B end into the mixer. Then I can plug the other end into my laptop or computer, and if you're using a newer device like I'm using here, you can get a USB dock or converter to plug the USB-A end into your computer. Alternatively, you can get a USB-B to USB-C cable and plug the USB-C end into your laptop or computer. Now, if you're doing this with your DAW open like you're seeing here, you may actually get a prompt that allows you to set the input and output to the mixer. So if this prompt comes up, you can go ahead and click on Use. But still, we recommend going into the sound settings of your computer and switching the input and output yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna go into the sound settings of my computer. And here it's using the default settings on the output, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch that to the mixer audio so that it's using the mixer. Then I'm gonna go into the input section and switch it to mixer audio so that everything we plug into the mixer is getting picked up by the computer. And even though it prompted us earlier to switch the input and output, we recommend double checking the input and output device on your DAW to make sure that the mixer is selected for both. So now we can use our DAW to record everything coming from the mixer. To set up the track in your DAW, you can either set the input to input 1 for a mono track, or you can set up a stereo track so it's getting all of the information and set it to input 1 and 2. So for today, we're gonna set the input to 1 and 2 and create our track here. And now from here, there's a couple of things to keep in mind before recording. For one, because we still have our speakers plugged into the mixer, we can still use the mixer to hear everything back, like our microphone or anything else we have plugged into the mixer. But while you're recording, you'll want to be sure to turn off the input monitoring on the track you're recording onto. And if you wanted to control the volume of the speakers, you can still do that by using the master knob here. And the master volume won't affect anything that's being recorded onto your track. You can use the level knobs on any of the channels that you want adjusted. So if you want to lower channel 1 and raise channel 2, you can just use the level knobs to do that. Another thing to keep in mind is the click track that you're using with your session. While that's coming through the mixer and out of the speakers and getting recorded in real time, it's actually going to appear on your track. So for example, if I put on the click track and start recording, you can see that it's coming through on the track here, which will affect your overall recording. So we actually recommend turning the click off whenever you go to record. So once you have everything all set up, you can hit record and have everything from your mixer get recorded onto your DAW. So right now I have my DAW recording everything coming through the mixer, so you're hearing my voice and it's showing up here on my track, check 1 2, check 1 2. And again, if we need to raise the volume for our mic channel, check 1 2, we can use the level knob, check 1 2. You'll see that the signal is coming in a bit hotter. And then if it was coming through the speakers a bit too loud, I can lower the master volume, check 1 2, check 1 2. So right now, not much is coming through the speakers, but it's not affecting my overall recording. We can also use the 2-band EQ to adjust the sound of our channels, and we can also use the built-in effects still. So for example, if I raise the effects knob, check 1 2, you'll be able to hear that through the speakers, but you'll also be able to hear it through our recording. And then you can also plug in other things to the mixer like your instruments, Bluetooth, or music devices, and have that all be recorded from the mixer to our computer. And if you wanted to listen to anything coming from the mixer while recording or just in general, we also have a phone's input to plug in a pair of headphones. So you would just take your headphones and plug it right into this jack here, and then use the phone's knob to adjust the volume coming out of your headphones. And while we used a laptop for this example here, you can also follow the same exact steps to set up your mixer with your computer. Now, because we have 5 channels, we can plug a mic into, built-in effects, and the ability to use a Bluetooth device with the mixer. The RPM47 makes for a great karaoke setup. So to demonstrate, I have a tablet here that I'm going to be using for my music and for my lyrics for the karaoke, and I have my dynamic microphone and an XLR cable. So I'm going to take the mic and the XLR cable and plug the female end into my mic. Then I can plug the other end into the XLR mic input on any channel. So for today, I'm going to use channel 1. Then I'm going to raise the level knob for channel 1. And to make sure I'm hearing everything coming out of the mixer, I'm going to raise the master volume knob. And now if I talk into the microphone, check 1 2, you'll be able to hear my voice coming out of the speakers. And you have 4 more channels available, so you can plug in 4 more microphones by following the same exact steps. So the next thing we can do is set up our tablet here for the music and the lyrics for our karaoke. First, we'll want to make sure to set the mixer to Bluetooth mode using this mode button here on the USB and Bluetooth controller. Next, we'll go into the Bluetooth settings of our tablet here and search for the device that reads Rockville and click on it to pair. And then from here, you'll see that your device is connected to the mixer. To make sure we're hearing the music from our device, we're gonna raise the MP3 volume knob here. And now from here, everything we play on our tablet will come through the mixer and out of our speakers. So we can go into the YouTube app and search for any karaoke version of a song and have the music coming through while we read the lyrics on screen. And don't forget, we can use the built-in effects on our mixer to give our voice some extra flair. Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. All that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold. Yeah! So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your RPM47. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.